What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel and to this companion piece to my previous video on the top 10 plugins that are free. This one goes the other extreme and it's the top 10 plugins that are super expensive but are worth every penny. So let's jump into it with FabFilter Pro Q3. This one can do anything that a traditional EQ does without the coloration, but it also has a billion different modern functionalities. So you can do anything from dynamic EQs, so it kind of acts like a multi-band compressor of sorts. You have mid-side capabilities, so if you want to do something like this and set this to just sides. Finding problem frequencies is also extremely easy. You just have that headphone thing and just go fishing for that frequency. You have a lot of different types of bands and cues as well, but you get some notch ones that can go pretty extreme. And it has linear phase as well if you want to use it for mastering. The analyzer is amazing. If you have multiple Pro Q3s, they interact and you can see where some cancellation might be taking place. So this is an amazing plugin and it's expensive, but it is the best digital EQ on the market right now. Next one up, still from FabFilter, but this time it's their saturation plugin, Saturn 2. And this one is amazing, not only if it was just a single band one, but it's a 6-band saturation unit, and it has so many different saturation types and distortion types. There's a built-in EQ for all of the extra harmonics. You can add a lot of modulation elements to this, and even if you just use the basic, just one source and one single band, you can get some amazing sounds. Check this out. And just to remind you, this is what we started with. And obviously you can add different types of saturation for these. Okay, it's self-oscillating a bit, and we can trim that. So this one is capable of just completely mangling your sound, but it can also get you some just plain saturation, and it's just amazing. You can use it on anything, and the fact that the new version has linear phase as well makes it that much better for mastering. Gophos from Sound Theory is expensive, but it does something to the top end that no EQ plugin can do, because it kind of does like 300 different moves, EQ moves a second. So it's impossible to get something like that with a traditional EQ. And I basically use it on the master bus and sometimes on an acoustic guitar just to get a bit of extra top end that isn't harsh, because boosting, I mean, even on an SSL type channel strip or even on an Eve, there's something abrasive there. So using this just cleans things up and gives a nice sheen to that top end. RC20 has become undoubtedly the staple when it comes to degrading sound with a plugin. And it has these 6 modules, and each module has a billion different variations to them. And it just does something that no other plugin does because of the fact that it has so many possibilities. The next one from XLN Audio is Addictive Trigger, and this one is expensive, but it does an amazing job at replacing drums. You sometimes, actually most of the times nowadays, you get some bad recordings, and if you have a pretty decent overhead image, you can get away with replacing or at least enhancing the kick, the snare, and sometimes even the toms. So this one can do that, no problem, but it can also replace stuff within loops because of the way the transient finder operates. So you can get from something like this. So you just add this and you have a lot of different modules inside it to kind of tweak the sound. So you have compression, you have EQ. I did a bunch of cuts here. You can add saturation and all the good stuff. So it's nice to have this option. You can replace stuff, but you can also blend things in to make loops or anything like that just a bit more beefy. Last one from XLN Audio is their most expensive plugin, but it's just amazing what you can do with this. It's kind of a beat sequencer type plugin, and it comes with 8,000 different samples, and I doubt anyone would need more than that for basic drum elements. And it comes with a lot of different things once you select a beat, let's say this one. You can kind of keep the same pattern but get different samples to play it. And once you're happy with that, you can edit to your heart's content. You can change the sample from here, or if you really don't like it, you can start exploring like that. When it comes to drums, very few people are better at finding cool samples and just getting cool drum recordings than Steven Slate. And with the SSD 5.5, you get everything. So you get amazing samples, you get some pretty cool drum grooves, and a billion different drum kits that he painstakingly recorded. So if you get someone who wants to make a rock song but they don't have a band or they don't have a drummer, this thing will act as your drummer. The sound is amazing, the samples are just super high quality, and the way it works just makes it easy to replicate a drum recording. You can get the mixer to send the different tracks on your DAW and then just process it as if these are the drum recordings, and it just sounds amazing. Vocal Synth 2 from Isotope is probably the most used vocoder nowadays, and it just sounds awesome. It is a bit of a resource hog, but it does so many things that it's kind of unsurprising, and you can get from something that sounds as boring as this.
It's an underwater.
Next up is Melodyne, which is again a industry standard when it comes to pitch correction. But now with the new one, with version 5, you can do so much more. The noises inherent in any vocal performance are maintained at the same pitch, so it sounds natural. And I only have essentials, but on the higher tier ones, the S's, all of the sibilants, can actually be tamed within the program. So the idea is you don't need a de-esser, you don't need to kind of manually go and sculpt those S's out, kind of a Jason Joshua style. So you can do it all in the plugin, and obviously the pitch correction is awesome. So expensive, but well worth it. And last but certainly not least is my absolute favorite synth, Pigments from Arturia. And the reason why this is amazing is the sound quality is there. Obviously, you have a bunch of different engines. You have an analog engine, you have a wavetable one, and a sample one that also comes with a granular module, so you can get every combination of synthesis, traditional one that you can imagine. And the effects are also amazing. You have a bunch of different ones and all of them sound crystal clear. Everything here is a modulation source, and but not only that, but it's extremely visual. So all of these things tell you show you what is actually going on. Everything kind of moves and you can see what's modulating what, and it's easy to assign stuff. It's easy to learn what synthesis is with this plugin. And if you're just interested in presets, it comes with like a 1,000 something presets. You're bound to find something here that even with a bunch of little tweaks will sound great on recording. That's my list of top 10 plugins that are extremely expensive, but well worth the price. And the thing is, you can get these things for less than what the companies are usually asking for if you're patient enough to wait for sales. They happen with each company once, twice, 3 times a year, and you get discounts between like 30% to 50%, and it's amazing. You can also get a lot of these, like I got them with an educational discount. But be advised that with those, you're not allowed to resell them, but it's fine. I mean, if you just want to use them, you don't want to resell them anyway. So I'd actually be patient and wait for these things to be on sale, because you can get some amazing prices for all of these. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments if you use these, especially if you use them but hate them. And I don't know, ended up dropping them at some point. I'm curious to hear why. And in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, the notification button, all that jazz. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.